Welcome to Lit Talk Lounge. All right, let's paint a picture. It's what, midnight? You've got that big exam tomorrow, a project that's due, and you swore you'd finally hit the gym. So what are you actually doing? Yep, scrolling. Just like that, another hour's vanished. Another chance, gone.
So I want to start with a pretty tough question, but stick with me here. 10 years from now, really think about it. When you look back at today, what are you going to see? Are you going to be proud of the habits you're building right now? Or is it going to be regret? Are you going to be that person thinking, man, I had the talent, I was smart enough, but I lacked the discipline?
That's where discipline comes in. It's like this invisible line, right? And it's the one thing that separates the people who actually get what they want from those who just kind of drift through life. So let's really break down why that is.
Okay, just look at this contrast for a second. On one side, you've got the drifter. This person could be super talented, maybe even a genius, right? But with zero discipline, their life just ends up filled with regret. And then on the other side, you have the winner, maybe just an ordinary person, but with discipline, they build something absolutely extraordinary. It just proves it's not about where you start, not at all. It's all about the system you build for yourself.
Does any of this sound familiar? No real schedule for waking up or sleeping? Work only gets done when that last-minute panic finally kicks in. And what's the result? Well, it's just this constant state of stress and confusion, and that horrible, sinking feeling that life is just happening to you instead of you making it happen.
But here's the good news. There's a fix. Discipline is the one force that can take all that chaos and turn it into clarity. Seriously, the moment you bring in a little structure, like a fixed bedtime, a simple daily routine, even tiny commitments to yourself, everything starts to change. All of a sudden, your mind feels lighter, your focus gets sharper, and boom, you're back in the driver's seat.
And listen, this isn't just some vague feeling. There's data here. Studies have actually shown that people with a disciplined routine experience 23% less stress. Just imagine that for a second. Nearly a quarter of your daily stress, just gone. It really shows you that discipline isn't about being in a cage. It's about getting rid of all that mental noise so you can finally think clearly.
But getting clear-headed, that's really just the beginning. The real rewards of discipline go so much deeper than just checking things off a to-do list. Let's dig into how these benefits actually stack on top of each other.
So, we're going to break down 4 pretty profound rewards that a disciplined life gives you. And we're starting with the most important one, the very foundation of how you see yourself. I want you to think about the last time you broke a promise to yourself. You said, I'm going to wake up early, or I'm going to work out, and then you just didn't. How did that make you feel? A little guilty? Maybe weak? See, every single time you break your word to yourself, you're chipping away at your own self-respect. But when you say you'll get up at 6 a.m. and then you actually do it, your mind gets this little message. Hey, I can trust myself. And what's amazing is, when you start respecting yourself, the world has a funny way of following your lead. Come on, we've all said it, right? I'll start when I feel motivated. But here's the thing about motivation. It's a total liar. It's fickle. It comes and goes whenever it wants. Discipline, that's different. Discipline doesn't ask you, hey, do you feel like it? It's a command. It just says, do it anyway. And here's the real secret most people miss. When you act out of discipline, motivation usually shows up after you've already started. Action creates the motivation, not the other way around.
I love this analogy. Think of discipline like it's compound interest for your future. Every small, consistent action, studying for just an hour, putting away a tiny bit of money, it's an investment. And over time, those little daily steps compound and they grow into a future that opens doors to opportunities you can't even see right now. Think about it. Employers don't usually hire the smartest but laziest person in the room. They hire the disciplined and consistent one every time.
And finally, let's talk about something huge, mental health. An undisciplined life is just this awful, vicious cycle, isn't it? You procrastinate, then you panic, then you feel guilty, and you just repeat it all over again. Discipline is what breaks that destructive pattern. You make a plan, you get your work done, and then, and this is key, you get to rest completely guilt-free. This creates something psychologists call earned confidence. It's this incredibly powerful self-belief that doesn't come from other people telling you you're great. It comes from proving to yourself, day in and day out, that you can rely on you.
Okay, but this brings us to one of the biggest myths out there about discipline. We're all taught to believe that freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, no rules. But is that really freedom?
That idea of freedom, it's actually a trap. In a weird way, it's a kind of slavery.
You become a slave to your impulses, a slave to your phone notifications, a slave to every little distraction. You're not in control, your random whims are.
Real freedom? It's the total opposite. It's the power to look at your life and say, no, I control my phone, I control my habits, I control my choices. Discipline actually gives you freedom from all the bad stuff. Freedom from regret, freedom from wasted time, and freedom from that chaos we were talking about at the very beginning.
So, okay, let's say you've done it. You've mastered discipline. You're on the right track. But there's a hidden trap, a silent enemy that can sneak in, steal all your peace, and just stop your progress dead in its tracks.
And that enemy is overthinking. Yeah, even after you've built a solid routine, so many people get stuck right here and they end up sabotaging all their own hard work.
Here's how it works, right? You spend so much time planning the perfect strategy that you never actually start. You analyze every tiny little detail until you're completely paralyzed by indecision. All that constant mental pressure just eats away at your peace of mind. You gotta remember this. If you don't get your mind under control, even the best habits in the world can't save you from yourself.
So all of this really brings us to a fundamental choice. Because here's the truth. One way or another, you are going to be disciplined. The only question is, are you going to choose it for yourself, or are you going to wait for life to force it on you?
If you look here, on the left, that's the path of just letting things happen. And believe me, life will discipline you, but it'll be brutal. It'll be missed deadlines, lost jobs, maybe even poor health. But on the right, that's the path you design yourself. You choose discipline on your own terms, and in return, you get clarity, you get self-respect, and you get that real freedom we've been talking about.
So when it all comes down to it, the choice is yours. Are you going to let chaos write your story? Or are you going to be the one to pick up the pen and design your own destiny? The person you become in 10 years, it's all being decided by the discipline you either start or fail to start today.